Hello and welcome to the online classroom. My name is Miss Kathy and today's letter of the day is the letter N. Can you say N? Do you have an N in your name? If your name has letter N, stand up. If your name has letter N, stand up. If your name has letter N, if your name has letter N, if your name has letter N, stand up. Well, today N is for noodles, and I have some noodles right here. There are lots of different noodles. They come in different shapes and sizes. I drew noodles on my letter N today to decorate it. You could glue noodles, but we're going to be gluing today for art, so I just drew the noodles with my marker. Okay, well, now that we can recognize this letter, we'll practice writing it. To write letter N, we're going to make a line that goes straight down, like number 1. Then we're going to go back up to the top, and we're going to slide down. And then we're going to go straight back up to the top. That's how you make an uppercase N. It really just looks like a straight line, a diagonal line, and then another straight line back up. Let's practice. Make a straight line down, and then slide down, and then make a line that goes straight back up. Down, slide, and up. Down, slide, up. That's the uppercase letter N, and every letter has 2, an uppercase and a lowercase. The lowercase N looks like that. Let's practice. Make a little line and then go over 1 time. Make a little line and then over 1 time. Little line and over 1 time. If you're using handwriting paper, then you need to look for the stairs. Downstairs is where the little letter N belongs. Little line and over 1 time. That is the lowercase n. Well, you can continue practicing that today if you'd like to. And here is a sticker for your handwriting paper. Well, now we know what letter N looks like. We can recognize it. We can write it. So next we'll talk about the sound that it makes. Letter N makes this sound. N, n, n. You try. N, n, n. Very good. N, n, n. Letter N says N as in no. Can you do your hands like this and say no? Letter N says N, n, n as in no. Do you want to bump your head? No. Do you want to fall off your bicycle? No. Do you want to lose your favorite toy? No. Do you want your crayon to break when you're coloring a picture? No. Letter N says N, n, n as in no. Well, now that we know what that letter sound is, we're going to put it with all the vowels. We're going to blend, read, and match. Can you help me sing the vowel song? A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. These are the vowels. Well, we're going to put letter N with vowel A. Let's blend and make those 2 sounds go together. N says N. A says ah. N, ah. Na. Na. Nap, nap, nap. Draw a line to the boy taking a nap. The next word has a special reading rule. When you see C and K together, we make that sound once. We don't have to say k, k. We can just say k one time. Let's go back and blend. N says N, and E says N, neck, neck, neck. Let's draw a line to the giraffe's neck. Look, there's the special reading rule we just talked about. When C and K are together, they make that k sound only once. N, I, N, I, N, I, N, K, O, Nick, O, nickel, nickel. Draw a line to the nickel. That's a coin. Next, N, O. N, A, N, A, not, not, not. Draw a line to the X. Not means no, do not. Okay, let's do the last one. Letter N and U. N says N, U says N, not, not, nut. Draw a line to the peanut. Well, you did such a great job today with our letter time. And now it's time for math. For math, we're going over to the math table. We're going to be measuring some noodles. Let's go. We're measuring spaghetti noodles in math today. Here are my spaghetti noodles. And I just put some here on the paper for us to measure. This is a ruler. A ruler has numbers on it and also lots and lots and lots and lots of lines. Each one of these numbers represents 1 inch. Go to the end where the number 1 is on the ruler, and that's where you begin. You put the beginning of the ruler where the beginning of your noodle is. Then look down to the end of the noodle and see what number is near where the noodle ends. What number is that? 7. So this noodle is 7 inches long. Let's measure another noodle. I will pick up the ruler. I will put the ruler right where the noodle begins. That's where the ruler begins also. Noodle and the ruler should be together at the same place. So then I'm going to look down with my eye and see where the noodle ends. What number is this? 3. So this noodle is 3 inches long. Let's move the ruler to the next noodle. The ruler should begin where the noodle begins. All right, let's look with our eyes all the way down and see what number is near where the noodle ends. Number 10. This noodle is 10 inches long. All right, next, pick up the ruler, move it to the next noodle. Make sure they line up here at the end. Look down. What number is this? It's number 5. This noodle is 5 inches long. One more noodle. See if you can do this one by yourself. How long is this noodle? Very good. 2. It's 2 inches long. You did a great job measuring spaghetti noodles for math. Well, it's time for science, and for science today, we're going to make a bridge using spaghetti noodles. So I have one spaghetti noodle here, and I'm just going to put it across these books. Let's see if our train can go on the bridge. Ready? Uh-oh, the bridge broke. It wasn't very strong, was it? Let's see what will happen if we add lots of spaghetti noodles all together to the bridge. So now we have lots of noodles laying across the bridge. Let's try it again. Look, now our bridge is strong. It can hold the train. That's because all of the noodles are helping to share the weight of the train. The weight is distributed or shared across the noodles. So now the bridge is strong and can hold the train. What other things can the bridge hold? Will it hold the princess? Let's find out. It will. It will hold the princess. Will it hold a rock? Yes, it will. We made a strong bridge. Will it hold this toy car? It will hold the car. Will it hold this pirate? Whoa, it will hold the pirate. Now our bridge is super strong. Let's see if it will hold lots of things like the train and the pirate and the rock. Whoa, our bridge is very, very strong. Before, it wasn't strong because we only had one noodle. The weight of the train was going just on that one noodle, and oh, the noodle broke. It wasn't strong enough. But when we used lots of noodles, the weight was being distributed or shared by all the noodles, and our bridge was strong. Real bridges are made with this same idea, sharing the weight. Well, it is time for art next. For art today, we're going to make a noodle project, a noodle art picture. So you can have just different kinds of noodles or all the same kind of noodle, just whatever you have. And you can create whatever picture you'd like to create. I think I might make a sunshine. Remember, you can use any kinds of noodles, whatever you have, macaroni, spaghetti, bow tie noodles, ramen noodles, whatever you have. And you get to create your very own picture. You can make a sun like mine if you want to, or you can think of something different. And remember, you don't have to have lots of different kinds of noodles. Even just one kind of noodle will make a beautiful picture. It's fun to get creative. So there you have it. There's my picture. Make sure you glue all those noodles onto your art project so you can have a pretty masterpiece, a noodly masterpiece. Well, it's time for us to do a story, and today's book is called The Queen's Spaghetti. The Queen's Spaghetti. Once upon a time, there was a queen. She was a happy queen. Her name was Queen Nellie. She lived with her husband, King Jim, in a castle. They had a large garden, a small field, and a great many animals. One evening, Queen Nellie came indoors and said, "What shall I cook for dinner tonight?" She had been working in the garden all day and she was very hungry. "I know. I'll make spaghetti with a tomato sauce. King Jim does enjoy that," she said. Queen Nellie put some water on to boil in a large pot. Because she was so hungry, she put in lots and lots and lots of spaghetti. Then she began to make the sauce. She sang a little song as she worked. But as the spaghetti cooked, it began to swell up. Soon the big pot was overflowing. "Oh dear," said the queen, and she ran and fetched another pot. She put half the spaghetti into it, but still the spaghetti kept swelling up, and soon both pots were overflowing. "Oh dear," said Queen Nellie, and she ran and fetched 2 more pots. She put some spaghetti into each one of them, but the spaghetti still kept swelling up, and soon all 4 pots were overflowing. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear," cried the queen as she ran and fetched 4 more pots. She put some spaghetti into each of them, but still the spaghetti kept swelling up, and soon all 8 pots were overflowing. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, wailed Queen Nellie. I haven't got any more pots. Luckily by then, ding, the spaghetti was done. Queen Nellie looked around her kitchen. Spaghetti had wriggled out of the saucepans and slid down the cooker. Spaghetti had slithered and wiggled across the kitchen floor. Coils and twirls of spaghetti, twists and curls of spaghetti, everywhere spaghetti. Would you believe it? I think I've cooked too much too much, said the queen. She knew the king disliked any waste, so Queen Nellie gave up some of her spaghetti to her cat. Meow, cats like fish, not string. Even a nice mouse would go down better than this lot. But he ate a saucerful just to please the queen. There was still an awful lot left. Then the queen called her dog. Woof! Dogs eat meat. Woof! Not hot, wet worms. Woof! Even a nice bone that's been buried in the garden for a few months would go down better than this lot. But he ate a bowlful just to please the queen. But there was still an awful lot left. So the queen called the royal peacock. Peacocks like tasty insects, dear highness. Not heaps of squiggly wigglies. Even a few dry spiders would go down better than this lot. But he picked at a few strands just to please the queen. But there was still an awful lot left. The queen looked at the clock. As quickly as she could, she stuffed most of the spaghetti back into the pots. Then she hurried to the back door, carried the pots outside, and emptied them on the grass. She called her hens and ducks. Eat, she commanded in her most regal voice. The hens and the ducks were rather surprised. They'd already had their dinner and were getting ready for bed. Quack, what can it be? Quacked the ducks. Quack, let's try it and see. Quack, cackled the hens. So the hens and the ducks pecked and they pulled and they tugged and they scratched at the spaghetti. Spaghetti wound around their legs. Spaghetti tied up their beaks. Sticky spaghetti, clingy strings of spaghetti, everywhere spaghetti. Hurry up, shouted Queen Nellie from the kitchen window. Get that mess cleaned up. So the hens and the ducks clucked and they snacked and they gulped and they quacked until they were so full of spaghetti they could hardly move. But there was still an awful lot of spaghetti left. Then Queen Nellie noticed her geese coming down the path. Just in time. Come and finish this up, she said to the geese. So the geese hissed and they squabbled and they honked and they gobbled until they were so full they could hardly move. But there was still an awful lot of spaghetti left. Queen Nellie felt desperate. Then she had an idea. She rushed down to the royal pigsty and let out all the pigs. The pigs were delighted. They wallowed and they puffed and they swallowed and they stuffed. They tucked in and sucked in delicious spaghetti as fast as they could. They grunted and they snorted. They squealed and they cavorted. They slurped and they burped and they ate it all up. What a delicious smell, said the king as he hung up his hat. Spaghetti for supper. My favorite. And your spaghetti is always so good, my dear. Queen Nellie passed the spaghetti round, adding some of her tasty tomato sauce and sprinkling on some cheese. The spaghetti was good. The sauce was scrumptious. I hope there's plenty more, said King Jim, passing his plate over. I'm still quite hungry. But there wasn't any. There wasn't a scrap of spaghetti left anywhere. The end. If only he knew what she went through to get rid of all that spaghetti. Well, I hope you had some fun today with N is for noodles. Tomorrow, O is for over in the meadow, and I'll see you here in the classroom. Goodbye. Have a great rest of your day.